Hello everyone, welcome to Lion Hermit Crab Educational Center. My name is Jessica and today we're going to go over a few ingredients that we've put together to make an emergency energy mix. Now this mix is not a healing food at all. It's not something that's going to fix the problem. The purpose of this mix is to help give that hermit crab a little boost if they are sluggish or if they have gone shellless. So now these are the situations when you would give it to them as an emergency. Now this mix can also be given to them if they are coming up from a molt. Molting does take a lot of work out of the hermit crab. They are spending 90% of their time working to molt, and shedding their exoskeleton is a lot of work. So giving them a little bit of this when they first come up is a good source of protein and calcium and fats to help boost that energy for them. So now why would our hermit crabs need this energy mix? Like I mentioned before, there is that situation where they're coming from poor conditions. Now, sometimes the damage has been done where they have had very low humidity for so much time that there has been damage to their gills, and there really isn't much that we can do. A lot of hermit crabs during this time when we bring them home, the first few weeks, they can pass during anywhere between when we first purchase them till they're a year with us. So during that time frame is always a crucial time. We can't always say if the crab is out of the woods, like we say. We just have to make sure that we're offering them what they need. Now, there are other situations where a hermit crab may need this energy mix, this emergency energy mix during a certain situation where the stress has been way too much for this crab and they have gone naked. That means without a shell. A hermit crab needs their shell in order to protect their abdomens. Their abdomens are very soft and very fragile, so anything that can injure them will result in death. So we want to make sure that if we see a hermit crab with no shell, that we want to act fast. I do have a naked crab video, so please make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Now we want to make sure that we follow the instructions for the naked crab in order to get him back into his shell. So now let's say that he has already gone back into his shell. In that video, I explain what to do and how to go about it step by step. Now he is doing well in his shell and he's staying in his shell. We want to offer him a little bit of this emergency energy mix. This energy mix is just going to give him a little boost of energy so that he can be able to walk around and explore and do what he needs to do and to slowly adjust to his environment. During this time when we first bring them home, it's very likely that this is going to happen, especially if they don't have the proper conditions in their enclosure. So we want to make sure that their enclosure has the 75 to 85 heat and humidity. They should have a completely sealed tank at all times. And the proper heat source would be a heat mat on the back of their glass. Never placing a heat lamp or a heat mat under the tank. This will hurt and burn your crab. Hey guys, so today we're going to be making an energy mix, an emergency energy mix. This is good for our crabs if they're sluggish, if you have a naked crab. This is something just to help boost their energy, to get them up and going, and hopefully it'll do the job. This is just a few items that we put together of calcium, protein, and fats. A lot of hermit crabs that are coming from poor conditions are lacking these items, so it's good to give this to them, to help boost that up. So for the measurements of these ingredients, I am using 1 teaspoon of beef tallow, 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, 1 teaspoon of crushed eggshells. You can use whatever shells you have at home. I like to save all my shells and just keep it in a container, so when I make my energy mix or even my exo mix, if So I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of that, 1 teaspoon of peanut butter, powdered peanut butter. If you don't have powdered peanut butter, you can use peanut butter from home, the spread. You just want to make sure that it's just single ingredient. We're looking for nothing but peanut butter in these ingredients. I'm just using powder. You can find this at your local supermarket or even at Walmart. I am also going to be using some krill and mealworms. You can use mealworms. I'm just going to be using 2 types of proteins. This is just a mix that I purchased on Amazon. It's just pretty convenient. It just has it mixed inside, but you can just use the mealworms if that's what you want. And I'm going to be using red shrimp. You can find this at your pet stores or even Amazon. I'm going to be using 1 tablespoon of all of these ingredients, including the raw honey. This is just raw honey, unsweetened and nothing added, just single ingredient. Like I mentioned, you want to go to the back and you want to look for organic raw honey, okay? And you're just using 1 teaspoon of this as well. Now I'm going to be using my XO mix. This is just lobsters, oysters, cuttlebone, crushed eggs. I'm going to be using this, but if you don't have XO mix, like I mentioned, you can use oyster shells. This you can get on Amazon. It's great. It's a great source of protein and calcium. Very big on that. Okay, and I'm going to be using Himalayan salt. If you don't have Himalayan salt, you could use sea salt or even instant ocean if that's all you have. So now you're just going to be using 1 sprinkle, 1 pinch of this. I actually used 4 grinds, 1, 2, 3, 4 into this. So now this is the powdered peanut butter. It's just a powder form. This is what it looks like. If you're not going to be using powder, you're going to be using the actual peanut butter spread. I do suggest that you add 1 more tablespoon of either mealworm or shrimp, just so that you can have a paste. That's all we're looking for. We want to look for a paste. So now we're going to add all these ingredients together. So now for the proteins, I am putting them inside a mallet, and I'm just going to crush everything together and to make it into a powdered form so that I can mix everything together. This is good to offer to crabs that you just rescue as well. Like I mentioned, a lot of these crabs that are coming from poor conditions are lacking a lot of these items. So it's not going to do them bad. I actually like to offer this to my crabs that are just coming up from a molt as well. Okay, so this is the powder. Now we're just going to add it with all the ingredients that I put inside here. Okay, and we're just going to mix everything together. You want to look for a paste consistency. That is what we want. We don't want to have any liquids, especially with the oils and the honey. We don't want this to get into their gills, just because hermit crabs breathe through their gills, and this can cause suffocation and they'll be in danger. So this is what it looks like. So this is what you want, a nice thick paste. If it's too runny for some reason, you can add more proteins, like either the shrimp or whatever you like. I always like to have a little container like this prepared, because like I mentioned, I do offer this to my crabs as they come up from a molt. It's good to have. All the ingredients we're using are healthy and good for them. So this is pretty much it, guys. If you feel that the content that I bring to you every week is helpful and you would like to see more, please make sure that you like and subscribe to my videos. Have a good one.